Hi, welcome. I'm so glad to be here talking to you today because I've got a really, really exciting thing coming next year. And so I wanted to drop by and tell you about it and tell you about the context for it so that you can start to have it in your awareness, so that if you want to join, you know about it and you can be on the front foot with coming to join and be part of this with us. So what I'm doing is creating an Enlightenment Summit and an Enlightenment Event, both with the purpose of revealing your aligned expression. It's something which I've seen more and more and more for myself and for the people that I work with, whether one-to-one or in my community, that really in alignment with that wonderful Rumi quote about removing the barriers that we've built against love, or for me, more accurately, including the barriers that we've built against love. That is what reveals our aligned expression. That is what has us feel like we're being ourselves. That has us feel like we're being in alignment with who we really are and who we're here to be. So this summit and this event are, oh my goodness, amazing. Like, I'm so excited about bringing this to the world. And it was really interesting how it happened, because I was in a group coaching call where the coach was talking about summits as a way to engage with a new audience and bring a variety of speakers together on a particular topic, so that, like a little online conference, you're getting lots of different insights and perspectives from different people with different angles on a particular subject. And as the coach was talking about this, I was thinking, oh my goodness, this doesn't feel fun. This feels like loads of complexity and lots of management of lots of bits and pieces of emails and admin and navigating speaker recordings. And it just felt like, oh my goodness, that feels like a huge thing and not fun, not something I'm interested in doing. I had a thought that maybe I'll do a small version. You know, she was talking about 20 speakers. I was like, maybe I'll do one with 4 or 5. I can see that. I could see a real benefit in doing that. Anyway, having come off that call, with that being my thinking at the time, and to be fair, some resistance with that, with this idea of 20 speakers. I then had a call with my wonderful business manager, Katie, and she was asking, what were you talking about in your coaching call this week? And so I told her about this smaller version that I thought sounded more fun. And then as we were talking, I was like, oh yeah, because I can see that I could get this person involved and that person, and it would be this is how it would flow. This would be like the journey of it. And then when we came off that call, there was just a sudden download of 2 pages worth of the plan. Like, it was just there. And it was so obvious. And it was so obvious that this wasn't just 4 or 5 people. There were 12 people to bring to this, and 12 felt absolutely perfect. There was no sense of, oh, that's a bit much work, or that's going to be a bit difficult. It was like, oh no, this is a yes. Like, now that I have this inspiration, now that I can see what this event could be, now that feels right. Now I can see why all the emails and all the stuff that goes on in the background is like, well, no, that's just part of this creation. Of course that's going to happen. Like, that's a no-brainer. Of course that's going to get done, because this has to come into the world. So this realization probably only came through, this download only came through, I think, in maybe October. It really wasn't very long ago. And so quickly I was into action, because I was so clear that this is going to be a thing. And then with some little bit of shaping. So what I was clear with from the start, it was going to be called the Enlightenment Summit, and what came through on that 2 pages of download, and leading into a developmental event, a longer term paid for event. Then it became clear about the flow of the themes. Then it became clear some of the speakers, and then with time, more of the speakers have become clear. And then also, in amongst all that, there became that clarity of the more refined purpose. What are we actually getting behind here? And that was that purpose of revealing your aligned expression. And I really saw how everything, even from when I was back in psychology coaching days, everything I've always done has been in support of that, has been in support of clearing up our human experience in order that we have an aligned experience of life, in order that we feel that feeling of being myself, doing stuff I love, enjoying my work, enjoying my relationships, enjoying everything that comes in, including to some level the things that feel like a challenge, because knowing that actually that's an opportunity for my next layer or level of learning, that's the next opportunity for me to see something more deeply, that's the next opportunity for me to love myself more fully, so that the next evolution of that aligned expression can be birthed. So it just feels so perfect that this is what's being created. It feels so perfect that that's the purpose of it, the theme of it. And so behind that, we have a journey which is going to be across 4 days of an online summit to begin with, and that's going to be free, where we're going to move through a pathway of, first of all, making it visible. How do we even know what is here to be enlightened? How do we even know what conditioning is available in me to be included and loved and understood? So we begin with that theme so that we start the journey with, how do I even know what to work with here? How do I even know where I'm beginning? Then we're going to move through themes of psychological enlightenment, emotional enlightenment, physical enlightenment, and spiritual enlightenment, before closing with holistic enlightenment. And for each of those 5 topics, there are going to be 2 speakers for each one. Same as there'll be 2 speakers for the Make It Visible. There are 2 speakers for the Make It Visible topic. And so for each of those 5, psychological, emotional, physical, spiritual, and holistic, these are 5 doorways into our enlightenment journey. None of them are actually separate. So the same as my 5 fingers there on my hand, none of them are actually separate. Whichever doorway we take, it all leads us to the same space. It all leads us to the same ultimate space that we're looking for, which is that feeling of alignment. So although these speakers are coming and they're emphasizing one of these doorways, in many ways, they're really all talking about the same thing. All that they're doing is highlighting that we've got different access routes, and whichever access routes feel good for you, that's one to go towards. And in going through that, you may well be touching on some or all of the others. They're really all one integrated process, but the doorways are so valid for giving us a way into that, so that we are really always in a holistic enlightenment experience. But yes, this summit and this event will highlight the ways that you get into that, the ways that you can move through that, the ways that you can be with your experience more fully. And so on the 17th of January next year, 2024, we are going to be starting the summit. Obviously on my newsletter, I'm going to be sharing, on social media, I'll be posting things here in YouTube, which is where this is going right now. There'll be stuff out in the world. So if you're interested, follow me. Make sure you're in my life in some way, so that you know when the links are coming that are available for you to get signed up. So we'll have that 3 days of the summit, 17th, 18th, 19th of January, where you'll get to meet all the 12 speakers, hear about their particular modality, hear about their doorways, and hear about their particular modality that they bring to that doorway. They will also be offering you a free gift with each of those conversations, so that if you like the feeling of this one with this particular speaker, great, you get to go a bit deeper with them and understand a little bit more about what they have on offer, what their particular way brings for you. And then, if you want to go deeper still, which obviously I hope you do, because it's going to be an immense year. So beginning from the end of January, when we'll officially open the doors and open the event, there's going to be a movement through all those themes across the year. So in February, we'll be making it visible. In March, we'll be looking at psychological enlightenment. In April, the emotional. In May, the physical. In June, the spiritual. Then in July, the holistic. Then there'll be some time for integration through August with some open calls. September, we come back together and we're going to reconnect with all of those doorways, because it's so easy. I don't know about you, but the number of things I've gone on and I've been like, oh yeah, that's great. I'm going to definitely do that thing. I'm definitely going to follow up on that. And then I forget and I don't do it. So when we come back together in September, it's with the intention of reconnecting with all of this, so that you can then remind yourself and go, oh yes, I did want to do that thing. I do want to go further with that one. I want to go deeper with it, either just myself on my own or working more with that particular person. So that then we, as we move through into October and November, we move into living as that, into bringing these different ways into our experience, more Q&A calls, and culminating in a celebration in November for the closing of this event. So it's going to be an absolutely incredible year, and an opportunity with a path beautifully laid out for you, which you can pick and choose what you come to. So you may well already be thinking, oh my goodness, I want to come to that whole thing. I am so in. And for you, there will be an amazing deal at the beginning so that you can join the whole thing for a really great price. If you don't think you want all in, then no worries. You'll be able to come and go through the year, month by month, to the bits that you're really interested in. And so you get to pick and choose. You get to curate your own journey. You get to follow the bits that matter for you right now, because that's exactly how it goes anyway on this path. And so you may be sitting there right now thinking, well, is this for me? Is this right? Is this something I'm interested in? Well, first of all, the summit's going to be there to give you a first taster for free to see what you think. But also you could begin to consider and notice in your life, where am I holding back? Where am I shrinking? Where am I not being my full self? Where am I stopping myself talking? Where am I not really doing the thing that I think I would love to do, or that my heart tells me I would love to do? Where are my relationships a bit sticky? Where am I in contexts where I know it's out of alignment, and yet there's something stopping me from taking action with that in some way or another? All of these are opportunities to notice the ways that you're not currently feeling that full alignment with yourself. And we love the feeling of being in alignment with ourselves. We love the feeling of being our natural expression. So start to consider what might be happening in your life. Start to notice the patterns. Start to notice the places where things don't feel that great. And that will provide you with the opportunity to then think, okay, so is this for me? Even if that's just beginning by dipping your toe in, coming to the free event in January and checking it out, seeing what you think. Because even after that, there will still be 10 days before we begin at the end of Jan to decide if you want in for the actual main Enlightenment event. So thank you so much for watching. I can't wait to bring this to you next year. I really hope you're excited about it too. And if not, if you've got questions, if you've got doubts, if you've got wonderings, please straight away start reaching out, because it will really help me to help you. It'll help me speak to other people who might have a similar concern or question or wondering. And it might even help us shape something in the actual summit and event. So do share your thoughts, share your comments. I would love to hear from you, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Take care.